Hey guys, welcome. Chris Eubank Jr. versus Liam Williams Watchalong. I've got with me Keval as well. How you doing, Keval? All good?
Hey, I'm good, thanks, mate. It's good to be on. Yeah, it's
Yeah, really
exciting.
good. Of course,
Right.
Caroline Dubois just boxed. Daniel Dubois' sister, her younger sister, actually, her debut. She was in the Olympics, didn't manage to pick up a medal, but she's looks like a good fighter. And we've got Claressa Shields, who's her, I guess, idol growing up, and she's a double Olympic gold medalist. She's undisputed champion at her weight class. She's unbeaten. She's only lost once in amateur and pro, which is to Savannah Marshall. She's in the crowd. They're looking to make that fight at some point, but she's American, Claressa Shields, and she has got skills to pay the bills. So it'll be exciting to see her for the first time in the UK. I'm hoping that she's next. I'll have a look at the schedule, but we had quite a few fights. Otto Wallin, which obviously a heavyweight,
Yeah,
who
yeah,
fought Tyson Fury in the past, was on the card, beat Sokolowski as well. But yeah, looking forward. I think the main fight is going to be spicy. I watched The Gloves Are Off, that Sky
yes.
do, and it
Eubank
was
Jr.
so good. Like they really dislike each other.
Yeah, you know the ones where they sell the fight. There's so much tension beforehand. They're the ones
Yeah,
that usually go up all crazy. That
exactly.
tenseness of him.
Yeah, 100%. That's exactly what I felt like
Yeah,
it was. Um, yeah, like 100%. It's just so weird, so weird. I think it will be Claressa Shields next, unless I'm mistaken. There's a couple of fights on here. We'll find out, I guess, whether they are going to come beforehand. I think there's some
yeah.
floaters.
I'm not sure which one's next actually, because
There's a couple, aren't they, that are saying they haven't gone. I thought Harlem Eubank had already fought, so it's a weird
I'm not
one. But
sure, but I did watch a Dubois versus Michaela fight, which was good. Dubois was like winning every single round. I think she
yeah,
bloodied her nose quite early as well, so she was really
yeah,
good.
it's not bad, is she? Oh, she's a southpaw as well, so
Yeah, she's
like,
southpaw.
yeah, she's really interesting. I thought she's quite a well schooled fighter, so
Yeah,
not bad, not bad at all. Um, yeah, I think the main fight is definitely going to be fireworks. Chris Eubank Jr., Liam Williams, they both lost before, but
yeah.
both like really action-packed fighters. So I don't think it's going to be a boring fight. And Claressa Shields also throws a lot of punches, so she may not potentially
Yeah,
stop her opponent, but she'll be quite exciting. And she is on top of Katie Taylor, probably the best women's fighter of all time. So she's in that kind of league. So it'll be interesting to see how she gets on. I think, yeah, it looks like, well, they're interviewing her as well a lot, showing her. I'm not sure whether she is going to be next up. Let's have a look, actually. We've got it here. So, yeah, it will be. We've got, yeah, so there's two fights left. It will be Claressa Shields versus Emma Kozin, which is for the undisputed titles, and then Chris Eubank Jr. versus Liam Williams. So, yeah, we're coming into now the last two fights. So, looking
yeah,
forward to it. And in fact, I'll put Claressa Shields. What was it
yeah. I'm just
versus?
getting their Boxrec stats up just so I can do the comparisons,
Yeah,
the better
exactly.
research.
Boxrec. Yeah, exactly. Classic.
Also, Claressa Shields is undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
Cozin's only had. Oh no, she's undefeated as well, but she's had
Yeah,
one
so
draw.
Claressa Shields has never lost amateur or pro. So
Yes,
yeah, I mean, she's a
she,
really good fighter. As I said, she's
11
like
fights,
the
11
best,
wins.
one of the best women's fighters of all time. That's
Yes,
kind of like how good she is. But yeah, she's quality,
Cozin's done really
really
well.
good.
21 fights, 11 of which were KOs, and the rest were all wins, well, one draw. So that's still impressive.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Kozin is a very good fighter as well. It'd be
Yeah,
interesting to see whether she's able to put up a fight here. She's definitely a heavy underdog, so intriguing whether she's able to bring anything out from that. We'll see. But yeah, WBC, IBF, and WBA middleweight titles on the line. So it's the unified titles. The other belt is actually with Savannah Marshall, who is the person who they're trying to match up with, and that will be undisputed. So that will
yeah,
be very interesting, and hopefully they manage to get that done. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Looking forward to it though. Really looking
yeah.
forward to this. I think it's going to be a cracker.
And these are all for the belts as well. So it's going to be interesting
Yeah.
seeing who takes what. It's not just sort of standard fights.
Yeah, exactly. So 3 middleweight middleweight belts on the line. The fourth one, with Savannah Marshall. So she is fighting in March, and then they're going to look to fight each other. Obviously, they both need to win, but that's really the super fight. That is a super fight in women's boxing, and that could be made, and it'll be a really good fight as well because Savannah Marshall's a banger, so she knocks people out. There's not many of those, to be fair, in the women's game, but she is definitely one. And then Claressa Shields is kind of slick boxer, so it'll be interesting to see if they do fight, kind of how that goes. You see Claressa Shields she's got the like quote, so like greatest women of all time. On her, or I guess her fight outfit as she's walking out, or about to walk out anyway.
Yeah. So what's your predictions for the Eubank versus Williams fight then?
It's really tough, because I thought, I don't know, I kind of thought at first that it would be Chris Eubank Jr., but kind of the more I think about it, the more I'm like, Liam Williams is a good fighter. Chris Eubank Jr. hasn't really been particularly good recently. There's a lot kind of about, so he's got Roy Jones Jr. as his trainer. Haven't really seen any improvements. I'm very, very undecided. If you'd asked me a couple of weeks ago, I kind of would have said maybe Chris Eubank Jr., but I'm very much struggling as to who I think should win the fight. What about you? Who do you think?
You know what? I wanted to say Chris Eubank Jr., but you're right. It is going to be a really tricky one. I mean, Eubank's only lost to Billy Joe Saunders and George Grove, so he's still really good.
Yeah.
But you're saying recently he's had a bit of he's not been the best.
No.
I'd still predict for Chris Eubank, but he'd go either way. So I don't know.
It's going to be a cracker. I think the thing is, it's just there's a bit of bad blood. They're both action-packed fighters. Like they're going to get hit a lot, both fighters. So it's just going to be one of those fights where I think there was a fight we watched. Was it me and you, or was it me and Muhammad? Where it was Liam Smith versus Anthony Fowler in Liverpool. I don't know whether it was you or Muhammad, but basically that was like an all-out war. Like both of them got dropped a couple of times, and it was just a crazy, crazy fight. And then we basically, in the end, I think it was Anthony Fowler got stopped.
Right.
But it was such a good fight to watch, and really, really enjoyed it. In terms of votes, actually on YouTube, some people have started voting. I've got a poll on there. 67% have gone for Eubank Jr. so far, so quite interesting. Clearly backing the home favourite. Although Liam Williams is from Wales and they're fighting in Wales, so they're fighting at the Principal. So they're fighting, in Cardiff. So even though he's the away fighter, he will have the crowd behind him. Whereas Chris Eubank Jr., even though he's technically the kind of A side, he's fighting away. So that's going to be another interesting dynamic as well, to be fair.
The crowd always helps as well. Having the crowd on your side is a big motivation.
100%. I mean, to be fair, some people, the crowd doesn't really bother them, especially if they're getting booed, etc. But I do feel like it is definitely an advantage to have the crowd for sure. Like I really is.
Sports people try to say that the crowd doesn't affect them; they can block it out. But deep down, it does. It does give them a bit of change.
Agreed. I agree. 100%. Very, very tough to say otherwise, for sure. We can see here Kozan just coming out. She's in quite a nice, not bad, nice robe, like very sparkly. Red and blue robe with a little silver trim as well. Pretty simplistic, but also does the job, you'd say. Not bad.
So stands out a lot.
It does, doesn't it? It really does. Can't miss her. That's
something out of a Rocky movie, I think.
Well, that's what I think most people go for, right? They don't want to go for anything too plain. They want to go for something quite big, which is quite interesting.
But don't go too big, because then you'll be like Deontay Wilder saying it was too heavy.
Very true. Very true. Exactly. The suit was too heavy. That's why I lost. 100%. And actually, talking of fights on Sky, it's only a couple of weeks. It's actually 2 weeks' time. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So 2 weeks from today, it'll be Amir Khan versus Kell Brook. So that is going to be a huge fight on Sky Sports box office. So we'll be doing that on here. Hopefully I'll be able to rope in Keval and Muhammad to do it with me.
Amir Khan, a big fan, but I don't know. I do feel like Amir's sort of getting into a later stage of his career.
He is, They're both really old. Well, they're kind of washed up, so it'll be interesting to see. I think that's why it's so intriguing, because both are towards the back end of their career. It is a 50-50 fight at this point in their careers, and it's probably their last hurrah, I would imagine. Claressa Shields is, I think, coming out, if I'm not mistaken. She's just about to come out. Interesting to see what her music is, etc. as well, because she is definitely a very, very bright character. She's not boring at all. She's very outspoken. Let's see what music she's got. GH says TTV Yahya. Thank you, I guess. Yeah, she's coming out. I don't know what the song is. But she looks like she's enjoying this, Claressa Shields. She is so confident. And she's also fought, so she's been fighting in MMA alongside this recently.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, which is crazy.
She's a professional MMA fighter
as well. So she's a boxer at first, but she's fought a couple of times in the MMA ring as well.
What's her MMA record? Has she done really well?
So she's relatively new. So it's 2-1, I think.
Okay.
So she lost her last fight. So she's a much better boxer, but she basically was saying that she wasn't getting paid correctly in the boxing ring, which is understandable. And MMA, she felt like she could make fights easier, etc. So she basically had never done MMA. She just started training a little with John Jones and what's her name? Amy. Oh, I forgot her name. The one who beat Ronda Rousey, but I forgot her name. But anyway, she trained with them. And she's okay. Obviously, she's not like elite like she's in boxing, but she's good enough, right, to get by. T says, "Are you going to show the fight?" I can't because of copyright issues. Otherwise, I would. Otherwise, everyone would be doing that. But can of course across there's Eubank Jr. all day. Okay, all right,
nice.
Liking that confidence as well. Thanks, guys. Well, I can see a few starting to stream in. So do smash the like button if you don't mind. Do subscribe as well if you haven't done so already. I think some people are watching on Twitch, so do follow us on there as well.
You can,
and also on Twitter.
You can.
I saw someone do it. The reason why you might have seen someone do it, but their channel will get taken down. Yeah, that's why. So you can't do it. Emma Cozen said it has. Well, as you said, she's unbeaten, right? But she's 23. I don't think she's fought anyone of particular note, if I'm not mistaken. But she is a dangerous fighter by the looks of it. So it'll be interesting to see what type of power she brings to the ring.
Yeah, I agree.
And can she cause Claressa Shields any issues? Let's have a quick look.
There's a great record there because
so she's got 11 KOs from 21 wins.
Yeah.
But everyone that she's fought, I've never heard of these guys. I mean, that's not actually. No, I've heard of Maria Lindberg. So that's a pretty good win. But apart from that, I'm trying to have a look. I haven't heard of any of these other women, to be fair. So, yeah. But, 50% KO ratio, not bad. Very intriguing. You can see
Shields.
Yeah, Claressa Shields really happy. She's really like, come on. She's got the Olympic rings tattooed on her arm as well.
Yeah.
Signifies she's won the Olympic medal twice. This will be interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, she may not be a knockout artist, but she's still got a clean record regardless, which is impressive.
Yeah, so she's, as I said, she's only lost once, not even. So in the pro, she's unbeaten. In the amateurs, which is incredible, she only lost once. In the amateurs. Bella says, Billy Joe Saunders, stop hiding. King Eubank Jr. is coming. Let's go. A big Eubank Jr. fan, like it.
Yeah.
Like it. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, we will be doing proper, we'll be doing commentary round by round for that as well. So do keep an eye. Here we go, Claressa Shields. We're going to see a bit of the Philly shuffle as well, I think.
Yes. Are you at the face-off bit? Just make sure we're in sync.
Yeah, so just starting now. They're in the middle of the ring. No one's throwing a punch yet. They're just eyeing each other up.
Oh, hang on a second. The fight started, you mean?
Yeah, fight started.
Okay, I'm still a bit behind then.
Oh, just refresh it maybe then.
Yeah, I'll give it a refresh.
Or jab pumped out by Claressa Shields, but nothing landed yet. You can see Emma Cozen is very twitchy. She's actually a southpaw as well. She doesn't look a bad fighter. Claressa Shields just using her reflexes. She is a reflex fighter, countering. She just uses good head movement, really good head movement. Doesn't parry. She uses her body and her head to make sure that she dodges punches rather than catching and countering. There you go, flurry of punches there after evading a right hand from Emma Kozin. Then a bit of wrestling on the ropes, which we like. 2-minute rounds here as well, so this will go by quickly, this fight.
So I'm just trying to refresh. I've just lost it. So keep the commentary going. I'll be on in
no
a
worries.
second.
Yeah, a couple of jabs or attempted jabs by Claressa Shields and a 1-2. Again, another 1-2. Doesn't really land anything flush. So Emma Kozin with a jab that does land. Obviously, the jab is coming from the right hand of Kozin. She's a southpaw, so they might potentially cross feet as well at some point. Again, yeah, very good. Body shots from Claressa Shields. Very, very good. Double jab there as well. A feel-out round for sure by both. Again, a jab from Shields. Doesn't land, but then throws the right hand from the hip. Just catching it. That's a good right hand. Just a snap right hand from Shields. Again, a shorter one. That time she does catch Kozin on the chin. 10 seconds left in this bout. Or in this round, sorry, even.
They're going for some good power punches.
Yeah, good punch again. Shields is using that right hand really well. She's teeing off on it. Nothing super clean, but there was definitely some shots that landed. Definitely a Shields round for me. She was more active. Kozin with a couple of decent jabs, but definitely looks like she's struggling with the pace that Shields is starting to enact already early doors. It is a 10-round fight, but as I said, it's only 2-minute rounds, so it will be a really high pace, which is what I think also makes a lot of these women's fights really exciting to watch because they're fought at such a quick pace.
Yeah, I agree. The first one was definitely a Shields round. Kozin already looks a little bit red on the head there, but she caught a couple of right hands, but nothing major. Let's see if she can react in the second round.
Yeah, let's have a look at there you go, 2 right hands landing at the same time. So obviously a jab from Kozin and a right hand from Shields. Yeah, both landing at the same time. Good little slow-mo there from Sky Sports. So it says, hey, mate, you cover every single sport. Fair play, love it. So I actually only cover 3 on here. So it's tennis, boxing, and cricket. I am thinking of starting a football one, but that'll be a separate channel. TTV Yahya says, what time does Chris fight start? It starts after this, so it will be... What's the time now?
I'd say within half an hour we'll start. It's 9:40 now.
Yeah, maybe 45. So maybe 10:15, 10:30 at the latest. Yeah. So round 2 here. 30 seconds gone of the second round. Not really much activity. Yeah, good right hand from Shields. Just ducks under and then throws a short right hand. Kozin doesn't feel it too much. He just stays there, holds the ground. But it's a good shot from Shields, and she's teeing off. Or overhand right from Shields. Doesn't land. This time goes to the body twice with the right hand. She loves that right hand. Shields then goes left to the body. Doesn't land. Good body movement from Kozin. She's got Shields in the corner. Shields looking to counter. Yeah, good right hands. She's now having a lot of success with the right hand. That was 2 right hands in a row from Shields. And one of them definitely landed flush. But Kozin doesn't look too flustered.
Kozin looks like she's struggling with distance a little bit. She's just not landing the
agreed
hand for her.
Agreed. Yeah, she's not throwing a jab, is she? She's not able to throw it.
Yeah, a lot of body shots by Shields there.
Yeah, really good flurry of from Shields. Almost Katie Taylor-like, dare I say it as well. And then, look at short left hook from Shields. Good left hook as well. You can see the left hook from Shields there, and also the fact that she's orthodox and Kozin southpaw means at times they will clash. You will see potentially some parries and also feet getting tangled, but so far so good. It's another couple of right hands. It's a barrage of 1-2s thrown by Shields, and 2 right hands go straight through the guard. Of Kozin there. Guys, if you're watching on Twitter, please do retweet this if you don't mind, and do like the stream. Also, if you're watching on Twitch, do smash the follow button, and do also get involved in the stream, like it as well if you can. Saeed says, do you cover UFC? We don't. I don't know enough about UFC, unfortunately, to cover it. I don't think Keval and Muhammad know enough either, to be fair. So it's something that we thought we might do, but I'd need to bring in someone else, honestly, to do the UFC coverage like solely. But who knows? It could be something that we do in the future.
Yeah. Oh, there was some good right hands thrown by Shields again at the end, but she looks a little bit tired, the mouth a bit open, so I'm not sure. I hope she's not punching herself out too early.
Yeah, interesting. She normally paces herself quite well, so it'll be interesting though. She hasn't fought in a little bit of time. You can see there those right hands right through the guard, really effective punches. She's not throwing, Kozin back on her back, but they're really effective shots. Yeah, there you go. Kozin trying to get on the inside there, but as you say, she's struggling with distance. Jab and then overhand left thrown by Kozin, but to no success. Kozin started off nicely, good twitching and managing to kind of maneuver herself quite nicely in the first 30 seconds or so. But since then, Shields has really made this her fight. Kozin just doesn't seem to be able to handle the pace, I think, and the fast hands that Shields has, and the defense as well. She's not really managed to land anything of note.
Agreed. Shields is a lot more accurate as well, I've noticed. Yeah. She's not throwing aimlessly.
Agreed. Definitely effective in her punching.
Oh, look at the head movement there.
Yeah, you can see that. The head movement really good. She doesn't parry punches with her gloves. She moves her head really effectively. Shields, you can see, always moving. A very, very skilled fighter. Jay Brazil says, where can I stream and watch it? I'm not sure, mate. You can probably find something on Twitter, I'd imagine, if that's the kind of thing you're looking for. But otherwise, do like this video. And if you want to hear us rattle on, then you can tune in here.
A lot of damage Kozin just took there.
Yeah.
So, looks like another Shields round here.
Yeah, for sure. Again, Shields with a low left hand, really looking to just pop off that right hand whenever she can as a counter. Almost Floyd Mayweather-like, to be fair, the way that she throws it. Yeah, a little uppercut there to the body, actually, by Shields. You can see she's definitely... Oh, again, a flurry there. Kozin going backwards. She's trying to get out of range. Shields, though, definitely hurt Kozin there. Don't know how hurt. She looks okay. She's on steady legs. But... it's interesting, right? Because I feel like if these rounds were longer, they were talking about making women's boxing, the rounds, making them into 3-minute rounds rather than 2 minutes. So obviously in the men's, it's 3-minute rounds, right? And I was saying that if the women's were 3-minute rounds, you'd see more knockouts, right? Because a lot of the time what happens is as the round wears on, people do get slightly tired towards the back end of the round. That's when you see knockouts. Yeah. And also if you hurt someone towards the back end or kind of back end of that 2-minute round, you then don't have much you don't have much time to get them out of there, which makes sense as well. What's going on here? It's Shields just in the corner. Oh, she looks okay. You can see there, look at these short right hands thrown by Shields. A flurry there, that was 3. It was a double 1-2. It's just the last jab actually didn't land, but jab and 2 right hands landed effectively there by the American. Round 4 here. It just seems like more of the same here. Shields on the front foot. Kozin trying to gain some momentum. I don't think she's won a single round yet. Is that how you have it?
I still think, Shields has got every single round so far. And if I'm being honest, unless Kozin really ups her game, I feel like it's just going to be Shields just going to walk through it and potentially get a knockout.
Yeah, agreed. Huge right hand from Shields. Kozin, that definitely hurt her. She goes in for the clinch, which is definitely a sign of her knowing she's getting teed off on in the distance. Yeah, she doesn't want to be trading with Shields in the inside. It's difficult. What does she do? Does she try and pump off her jab and then throw her most effective shots? I don't really know what that is at the moment. She hasn't really had a chance to express herself in that way. Yeah, good right hand again. The head of Kozin snapping back. Shields wants to stop it here, I'm telling you. Yeah. She wants to make a statement. She wants to tell Savannah Marshall, look, I'm coming for you. Oh, big left hand. Oh, she's teeing off.
You can see the fatigue on Kozin now. There's a good chance that Shield could end it.
Shields is punching and throwing everything at Kozin. She wants the stoppage now. She can see that Kozin's hurt. Oh, it's a big right hand. She's not throwing back. I think it might get stopped in this round if this carries on. Big body shots from Shields here. She's really throwing the kitchen sink here. Big left hook. No response whatsoever from Kozin whatsoever. Big left hook to the body again from the American. Right hook. Kozin looks knackered. Oh, she's still bobbing around her feet, though. There's only a few seconds left in this round. I think she'll survive this round.
Yeah,
but interesting if Shields come. Yeah, agreed. I think if Shields has the energy to come out in the next round as she did in this round, I think it could get stopped in the next round. She's barely throwing anything, Kozin, so it'll be interesting to see what the ref does. Adil says, what time's the main event and what channel is it on? So it's on Sky Sports, main event actually, at the moment. And in terms of timing, I think it will start probably around 10:15 or 10:30. And just showing the replay. I mean, there's so many shots she threw, so many effective shots because the left hook there thrown by Shields, and then the head just snapping back from Kozin multiple times. I mean, taking a real beating in that round.
I just hope Shields didn't punch herself out because she did really for a big amount of like a barrage.
Yeah, agreed. No, agreed. Look at that fight total punches. So 137 landed by Shields, 83 Kozin. She's had a success of 53%, which is really high. Shields and Kozin in the 20% mark. I think mid 20% mark there. So yeah, clearly showing her class. Shields, the accuracy is there from Shields. Huge accuracy on the punches. She's had a lot of success with the right hand, left hook as well in that previous round. Kozin just doesn't seem to have any answers.
Kozin looks quite nervous now. You can see she's just not relaxed or anything. She's just not sure what to do.
Agreed. Really good head movement from Shields there, just ducking down in and out round 5 here. And of course, 2-minute round. So this fight definitely flying by, and Shields very much in control. I don't think she's lost a single round, to be fair. I think me and Keval both agree on that.
I agree. First round was a bit even, but it was the most even one, but I'd still give that Shields one.
Agreed. Yeah, a couple of hooks thrown good. Right hook from Shields and a couple of beautiful body shots. And then a huge flurry from Shields. She wants her out of there. Look at this. Oh my God. She is going after a flurry of punches left and right.
This is going to get stopped. Halfway to the fight.
Just going ballistic on her. She doesn't have concussive power, but I tell you what, if she throws those types of punches and at this type of frequency, she'll definitely get the stoppage. Again, big right hand thrown. She's going after her. She wants to make a statement here, Shields. She really does. It's her UK debut. She wants to get the stoppage.
As a clinch from Kozin, this isn't going 10 rounds. I really don't.
Look at this. Shields gone into southpaw. She's gone into southpaw. Very interesting. So she's changed stance. She's back now, I think, in orthodox. And they go head to head, trading on the inside here. Body shots. Shields really throwing with a lot of venom. Yeah, a couple of hooks there as well from Shields to end the round. Again, another big Shields round. Kozin is one tough cookie, though. She's sticking in there. She's not complaining. She's getting on with it. She's not trying to find a way out.
Kozin's really struggling. Like when she throws, you can tell she's not really putting much power into it. She's scared of getting close, I think.
Yeah, she's scared of getting countered, isn't she? I think is the main thing. She's definitely scared of getting countered here. Is Kozin. You can see her straight punches thrown by Shields, just so effective, landing so many of them. It just reminds me so much of Katie Taylor. Look at her straight punches, crazy accuracy, and just landing flush. So quick as well. The hand speed is incredible from Shields. Look at this. Unbelievable. Really impressive from Shields. Really impressive. Right. Okay. So 6th round here. So we're halfway through this fight. What do you think, Keval? What's your prediction? Will she get the stoppage?
I think she'll get the stoppage, yeah. Yeah, most likely. I mean, every single round, Shields just seems to have been doing more and more damage to her, and Kozin just looks way more exhausted, like way more pain, and Kozin just run out of answers now.
Yeah, agreed. I think surely Kozin will start to tire towards the back end of this fight, and Shields will then have even more success. Or, as you said, there is a danger that Shields could potentially punch herself out. I think she's definitely been a little bit more measured in the last round, and so far in this round she has been as well. Hasn't thrown as much. We're nearly halfway into this round. I think she realizes she can't punch herself out. She hasn't got the stoppage yet. And she's definitely tried. It's not for lack of trying. But yeah, I think she'll get a stoppage, probably a barrage of punches, and maybe Kozin not being able to throw back. But she'll need to, again, systematically break Kozin down. She has been doing that. Again, very good right hands thrown there. Good jab, though, from Kozin, to be fair, in response. But then Shields replies with a couple of body shots of her own. She's really in control of this. Just don't see much landing flush from Kozin.
Agreed, yeah. And I think the referee's even just trying to find a sort of barrage so he can put the stop to it. I think even Kozin's own team knows she's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, agreed. We go right hand from Shields onto the gloves of Kozin. Yeah, just ducking down Shields, looking for the body. Definitely targeted the body, and then also go. I mean, it's great because she's targeted body and head.
Yeah.
She's really, really varied in the way that she's boxed today.
Head chuck went back quite a bit on that right hand.
Yeah. Agreed. There, a good head movement, then a huge right hand and left hand from Shields. She's looking for the haymaker.
Look at the confidence of Shields as well. Punch the gloves together. It's like, yeah, I'm going for it.
Exactly. Yeah, a couple of huge shots to end that round.
Nice.
She's definitely wanting to get Emma Kozin out of there. She doesn't look too hurt. I mean, she might just be one of those people that doesn't bruise easily, but she doesn't look terrible. Oh, interesting. Savannah Marshall, she's pretending to yawn to the camera. She's obviously the potential opponent for Claressa Shields. She is another champion in that middleweight division, and she's taking the mick. So she's the only person to beat Claressa Shields in the amateurs. She was the only person, but Shields was 19 at the time. So there's a whole narrative around those two fighting. So they're in the same division now, and if they do fight, it'll be an undisputed fight. So they're looking to make that fight next. So Shields wins here today, and Savannah Marshall wins in March. That we'll see that fight later on this year, which will be a huge fight. It'll be very cheeky from Savannah Marshall with the yawning.
Yeah,
very cheeky. Pretending to fall asleep. Yeah, exactly. Bit of character showing that we like that. Look at this. Shield just runs to the corner where Kozin is. Almost like this is my ring.
Yeah.
You don't deserve to be in it. Look at that. 1-2. She is just crazy good in terms of her skill set. Guys, well, please remember to smash the like button, please. It's a big thumbs up button. And do, of course, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Horace says, hello, what time is the fight? The main fight will probably be at 10:15, 10:30 latest, I would imagine. This is the last fight before the main fight. So it's Shields versus Kozin. Or again, Shields punching really efficiently.
Very surprised if this goes a distance, but agreed. I don't know. Kozin's taking a lot of damage and then throwing just like one punch, which keeps her in the game and it stops it from being stopped, doesn't it?
100%. Yeah, Shields, she's actually an undisputed champion as well in 3 different weight classes. She's such a good fighter. Like, she really is. Horace says, I hear Twitter saying women need 3-minute rounds because 2 minutes is too chaotic. What do you think, Keval? What's been your assessment so far? You haven't seen too many women's fights. Do you think it's too chaotic? Do you think 3-minute rounds would be better?
I think there's no harm in giving it a go, but don't they have a thing where it's like for some new fights they have shorter rounds or less rounds?
So they have less rounds, yeah. But in women's boxing, all fights are 2-minute rounds. So in men's fight, so in men's fights they're all 3-minute rounds, but they could, for example, only have four rounds of 3 minutes. If it's like a big someone who's just turned pro, for example.
I agree with making it equal, having them both 3 minutes, give the girls a better chance of getting a knockout.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I think if it were 3-minute rounds, I think Shields would have got the stoppage by now.
Yeah, and I think it's a real test of stamina as well. That extra minute must be so tiring, especially, if you think about it. Like,
yeah, agreed.
How exhausted the sport is.
100%. Couple of big right and left hooks thrown by Shields to end that round. Kozin looks pretty tired, but she's she was back to her corner. Horace says, "What's your guys' predictions?" So my prediction is so tough, for today. I'm gonna go Eubank Jr. on points. Keval, what's your prediction?
You know what? I was probably gonna say the same. Eubank on points or possibly a late technical knockout.
I'm gonna be different then. I'll be different because I feel like let's mix it. I'm gonna go Liam Williams. And I'll go Liam Williams points, but I
should I have gone Williams then to make it different?
No, it's not that. It's just I don't think I think it's a very close fight. I genuinely do. But we'll see. Hart says, when is Khan versus Brooke, and will you do a watch along? It's in 2 weeks' time, so 19th of February. Yes, we will be doing a watch along for that, of course.
Nice.
It's a huge fight. I mean, it's a fight.
Yeah.
The UK fans have been waiting for ages. Guys, as well, can see some more of you starting to stream in. Do remember to smash the like button, please. Big thumbs up button. And do subscribe as well if you haven't done so already. If you don't mind, does help us out.
What's your
see there? Yeah, go on.
The card versus Brooke. What would you say?
Amir Khan stoppage.
Okay, fair play. You know what? If Amir Khan's as good as he was earlier, then I'd probably agree and say the same thing.
I just think he's probably not as worn out as Kell Brook. I think Kell Brook is really emotional about this fight. I think Khan will stop him. But we'll see. Well, it's 50-50 fight again, to be fair. Yeah. It's just kind of what I'm feeling, but who knows? Who knows? Oh, huge right hand from Shields again. Just teeing off on Kozin. Not sure she's going to get a stoppage here. I don't think she's going to get it. You know that. I think she's going to last the 10.
I'm not sure. I thought it would get stopped. I feel like the referee's been quite lenient at not stopping it.
Yeah, maybe. Kozin hasn't thrown much, but I think she's just shown enough. She's pretty steady on her feet, I think is probably why. And then she's throwing at times there. Not really having any success at all, but she is throwing. Shields really going for the big haymakers there. Then goes in too close into range. She wants that stoppage. She really wants that stoppage. Or big right hand thrown. Oh, here we go. 1-2 from Shields. But then just goes back. Doesn't overextend. Probably realizes she's not quite in range to cause some damage there. Guys, over 15 of you in the chat. Do you remember to like the video and subscribe? Thank you. Hara says, I just want Khan to get the win and retire. Yeah. I mean,
end on a bang.
Yeah, that definitely would be ending on a bang, wouldn't it? Matthew says, good evening. Good evening. How you doing, Matthew? 23 votes so far, by the way. Eubanks is in the lead. 74% of people think Eubank Jr. will win, which I think is probably understandable given that he's the A side. And I think if he boxes to the best visibility, which I don't quite know what that is yet, I think he does win. But Liam Williams is definitely a rugged opponent. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to points, but I think it will be an all-action fight. I don't think it'll be a boring fight. We could definitely see a knockdown or two for sure. And it will be 12 rounds as well. So 12 rounds at middleweight. It's going to be a very interesting fight.
Yeah.
We'll see Eubank Jr. just warming up in the changing room before this fight. Well, here you go, Shields. So we're in the penultimate round of the fight here. I don't think she's going to stoppage, which, to be fair, at one point looked like it was going to be very likely. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah. Matthew says Khan versus Brooke are two-shot fighters. Agreed. Punch resistance has gone on both men, but it will be intriguing as it makes it genuine 50-50. It's true. They have very similar points in their career. As you said, their back end, they're basically very close to retiring. Probably the last fight for both, you'd imagine.
Yeah.
And yeah, 100%, I think, is a 50-50. It's just who's going to have the better game plan on the day, I think.
Yeah.
Who executes it better. Good body shots from Shields and then a couple of hooks thrown to the head.
This actually might go the distance. I'm so surprised.
I think it will, yeah. Krigu Henry says, how is the Claressa versus Emma match? So, yeah, it's going on right now. 9th round. Shields has been very dominant throughout this fight. Kozin has been very tough.
Yeah.
She hasn't been dropped. She's been wobbled maybe once, but not really staggering around anywhere. And yeah, I mean, Shields is just teeing off on Kozin throughout this whole fight. She's been really accurate. The right hand's been popping. So the body shots and left hook, but just not quite able to get the stoppage. I don't think she will. She doesn't have that concussive power. She's more of a slick boxer. Is Shields, very accurate in her punches, but not the huge puncher. Look at that head movement as well. Really, really well scored, Shields. Yeah, trying to go for the overhand right. She's definitely throwing some haymakers there. She's looking for the stoppage. She just doesn't seem to be able to do it. Good counter punches on the ropes there. Really good right hands throwing counters. Almost, dare I say it, Mayweather like. Matthew says, is it true Khan has a rematch clause? I've heard about this. I'm not sure. I think from what I've read and like interviews, etc., it looks like that is true. It's a bit weird. I mean, he is the A side, definitely. He's had a better career. But should he have a rematch clause in there? Probably not. But if he loses, that means that he can run it back. And to be fair, Brooke wouldn't mind that because it'll be another payday. So I think if Khan wins, though, it doesn't seem like there's a rematch clause for Brooke if Brooke loses. So Khan wins, he'll just sail into the sunset, to be fair. And Matthew says, Kozin has eaten some body shots tonight. She really has. It's been a systematic beating, really, by Claressa Shields today.
Yeah, it was a very one-sided match today.
Yeah, very one-sided fight for sure. And one round remaining will be the last round. I wonder if she will go for it, whether she will just say, okay, look, I've, you know what, I've shown what I'm about. Didn't manage to get the stoppage, but I've been very convincing. Will that be enough to, I guess, not scare, but put Savannah Marshall on notice? You'd imagine it would. She'll definitely look at that and say, look, Claressa Shields has got some very, very good skills, no doubt. Here we go. 1 minute 30 left of this contest. Round 10 again. Shields teeing off. Left hook, right hook to the body. Then a couple of hooks thrown to the head as well. Oh, good short right hand from Shields. Then, oh, very good short right hand again from Shields. This time through the middle of the guard of Kozin. She knows she's won this.
Shields just wants to seal this win, really, and just go for it now.
Yeah, agreed. She just wants to finish off nicely. And you can see there with the greatest woman of all time acronym on her shorts at the front. There we go. Again, very short shots there, left and right hooks to the body. So accurate on the inside, Shields. So good at countering as well. Yeah, straight shots there. She just seems to have a bit of everything, Shields. Seems to be able to fight in so many different ways, has pretty much everything. The only thing I feel that is missing is that concussive power.
Yeah.
I mean, you give her that, and she's one of the best fighters I've probably seen in kind of in this generation. And that's kind of how good I think her skill set is, but she doesn't seem to have that. She's almost like Terence Crawford, but without that type of concussive power. That's how I see Shields. Very good, probably better defensively though. Really good head movement. Look at this. She's in the corner of the ring and she's not got hit with one shot there. Really good head movement and body movement. And yeah, the bell's been rung. So end of the 10 rounds. Shields hugs her opponent, Kozin. She definitely won that. I think a landslide victory. For me, she has not lost a single round there. And we will be going on to the main event very, very soon. Guys, there's 20 of you in the chat, so thanks for tuning in. Do remember to smash the like button, please, and do also remember to subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kozin did really well there to survive the 4 rounds. But,
yeah, I agree. I think we were both expecting it to be a stoppage, right? At some point.
Yeah.
We were expecting Shields to have Kozin up against the ropes and really just unload on her, tee off on Kozin, and then Kozin either throwing in the towel or the ref just calling it off. But in the end, it was actually Shields who, yes, looked really impressive. Yes, won pretty much every round, but didn't manage to get that knockout.
Yeah, I like the immediate respect in these fights where both opponents, both teams at the corner would go straight to the other side to shake hands. You don't get that a lot, especially in the pro fights, I realise.
Yeah, I agree. I think to be fair, in most of the boxing fights you do, it's one of those sports that I think after the fight, because the two fighters have shared a ring together,
Yeah,
they've got that respect for each other to say, look, you know what, well played,
yeah,
and especially the fights. A lot of times they actually hate each other. Like for example, Wilder Fury, right? But then in the post match, in the post fight,
they don't
they
really.
kind of have a hug and they go up to each other and they're like, well,
Yeah,
four, blah, blah. It's because they've shared this really intimate experience in the ring where they've beaten the
yeah.
crap out of each other.
It was also
So,
like Joshua versus Dillian White when they fought. They're okay now, but yeah, they didn't like each other even after that fight.
exactly, yeah. Matthew says, Khan is sly as he waited until Brook was shot. He also knows it will kill Brook to make the weight. He even put a rehydration clause to tip the scales even further. In my opinion, Amir Khan knocks out Kell Brook in both their primes. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
Brook was good, but Khan has had a much, much better career.
yeah,
He beat Maidana. He's beaten some ridiculously good fighters. Reese Snell says, Azab Judah. Anyway, Reese Snell says, what channel is it on, bro? It's on Sky Sports. Yeah, there you go. Shields, of course, getting the victory. No surprises there.
yeah. Easy win.
Hara says, Quadras Rodriguez predictions. Ooh, Rodriguez. Matthew says, Shields used her opponent as a punch bag. Kozan will feel sore tomorrow. Yeah, literally, she will. Definitely feel that. Good win, though, from Shields. Really, really impressive. Got the win. And yeah, she will be fighting Savannah Marshall next, as long as Savannah Marshall wins her next fight coming up. Horace says, facts, Khan would have won in his prime. Yeah, I mean, that's just my opinion. Look, I mean, I can see why some people might go for Brook. I think maybe Styles do make fights, and even
Yeah,
though his career was better, Khan's doesn't necessarily mean that he would have won in terms of his style. They always say timing beats power.
yeah,
Kit Mitchas, thanks for tuning in, says, what's next for Shield? So she, of course, has 3 of the belts in the middleweight division, even. She has been undisputed, if I'm not mistaken, in middleweight, super middleweight, and I think light middleweight. So she's been undisputed in 3 divisions, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah. I think.
So she's got 1 more belt to be undisputed again at middleweight. Savannah Marshall has that belt. Of course, she's in the stadium. She a bit of yawning to kind of take the mic and pretend she was sleeping during the fight. So she's the only person to beat Claressa Shields ever, like in Shields' career, pro or amateur. Shields is unbeaten in the pros, and in the amateurs, she had 1 loss, and that was to Marshall. She was only 17 at the time, but obviously it's something that is brought up a lot, and that will be a super fight, so probably made later this year, you'd imagine. Horace says, do you think Khan improved over the years? I think he still kept some bad habits in the ring. Yeah, I think obviously keeping his chin up in the air and in the pocket too long is the issue. I don't think he's got a bad chin. If you watch him against Maidana, he definitely doesn't have a bad chin. I think it's the fact that he just stays in the pocket too long, and he's never really got out of that habit. I think he knows he's got super quick hands, but yeah, definitely. I think he could have been a slightly better fighter than he is, even though he's had such a fantastic career. But in saying that, look, there's only a very, very few fighters, once in generation fighters, that can be, for example, someone like a Canelo.
Yeah.
Kit Mitchell says, thanks for that, no problem. Matthew says, Brooke had the best 147-pound win. That's very true, versus Porter. Khan never went 12 rounds or beat a world level 147-pound fighter, and Brooke would have KO'd him. That I think, 147. I can see but I do think after, if it was the Khan who beat Devin Alexander and then was potentially going to face Mayweather next or Pacquiao, but then obviously they made their fight, right? So he was potentially going to fight either Mayweather or Pacquiao, but instead what happened is they made that fight between each other. And I think he then knocks out Brook at that point, but who knows?
Yeah, I have no idea about. I think Khan's still really good. He's done really well for himself. Obviously, even with the few losses, like the risks he did fighting Canelo and stuff, he did really well.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see what Shields is saying in the interview. She's saying thank you to Boxxer Sky Sports. Oh, really good though. She's giving a lot of thanks, everyone. She said I've moved Emma out the way, but the person I really want is Savannah Marshall. I've done my job. Now time for her to do hers. So let's get her in. MAD84 says if Eubank Jr. ever fights Canelo, Eubank smashes him to bits. No way. Canelo absolutely smashes Eubank Jr. in my opinion. Look, I mean, anything can happen, but yeah, I think Eubank Jr. is not a bad fighter, but I just don't think he's an elite fighter. Canelo's the best fighter in the world. Jason Bell says, I'm from the UK and Khan is known as Bambi Legs. Mate, only if you and a few people think that. And anyone who doesn't think Khan is a fantastic fighter, go and look at his resume and then appreciate what he's done, because you can make fun of him all you want. But if you look at his career and and the people he's fought, mate, unbelievable legacy. I'm not just saying that because I'm a British Pakistani. I'm from the UK as well. And I know that he's been knocked out stupid times. And I know that he can stick his chin up in the air. But he's really, really good.
Yeah.
Oh, here you go. Trash talk. Oh, hello. Teeing off. Jason Wells, it says it's fact. Well, the only person I've heard calling Bambi Legs is you, mate. So it's not a fact at all. I'm from the UK as well. So is Keval. So keep quiet. Horace says, keep speaking facts. He gets too much disrespect. He does, yeah. I wonder why he gets so much disrespect as well. I wonder why. Shields is like, I'm going to give you so much hell to Savannah Marshall.
Before the main event starts, I'm going to make a quick new break, so I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, go for it. Oh my god. These guys are going off. I don't think they hate each other. I just think they clearly very competitive. They know that's a huge fight, so they're going to try and build it up. Matthew says, Khan was a very exciting fighter, but just because you have lots of names on your CV doesn't add anything extra unless you win some of them. Mate, he has won some of them. Matthew. Should we go through it? Okay, let's go through it. He's got a much better resume than Kell Brook. Anyone who is accomplished in boxing will tell you that. Let's go through it. So forget about the people that you lost to, like Terence Crawford, Canelo. Yeah, we know that. Obviously, you lost to Danny Garcia. Yep. Let's look at who he's beat. Devin Alexander, Zab Judah, Maidana, Marco Antonio Barrera. Mate. Come on. Louis Collazo. Don't mess with his resume. Irish says Tyson Fury is the greatest heavyweight. Well, that's your opinion. I think Muhammad Ali is, but you know, whatever floats your boat. Horace says Malik Naji. Yeah, Malik Naji is a good win as well. He's not an elite fighter, but you know, he's probably a relatively world-class fighter. But you know, I think Kell Brook beats him easy, to be fair. Although Kell Brook wasn't really fighting at 140 at that time, so different weight divisions. But yeah. Guys, well, thanks very much for tuning in. Do appreciate it. Please do remember to like the video if you don't mind and subscribe. We are going to be doing, of course, the commentary for the main fight. We're going to be doing great commentary, hopefully. Well, some fun commentary. Why not? And, of course, answer your guys' questions as well. Kev,
hey,
jumping on here.
Just
no worries. Mar84 says, Tyson Fury is the king. Eat up your big dosters, lol.
I mean, he is right now, to be fair. He's done pretty well.
Yeah. Jason says, lol, Khan is not good. Brook will win if the fight happens. That's fair enough. That's your opinion, right? If you think Brook will win, I don't mind you saying that. all I'm saying is put some respect on Khan's legacy. Whether you think he'll win or not, whether you think Brook is better than him or not, that's up to you. That's your opinion.
Yeah.
I get that.
Khan is good.
That's understandable.
Khan is good as a boxer. He has been known for not having the best chin. That's the only downside to Khan.
Correct. Agreed. So 71% of you have said Eubank Jr. to win, 29% Williams.
Wow.
Yeah, the fight's definitely happening though as well, to be fair, Jason. So it's in 2 weeks' time. We will be doing a watch along here.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll have to eat my words when he gets knocked out, which, you know, is very, very, very doable. Matthew says, Barrera and Judah were in their retirement homes. Maidana was his best win and a great fight. Taking the Peterson fight in Peterson's backyard was a huge error. Yeah, agreed. Judah and Barrera still great fights, man. They're still great wins. I don't agree with you saying that just because they're in retirement homes. Don't really see that. You can also say then, okay, well, you see how we can't cover that talk. Saying I'm gonna finish his career off, and Kell Brooks is check. They're both looking great shape, by the way.
And they're trash talking over Skyboy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they look
well, I can't wait for the behind the gloves when that gets released. Great. All right, Khan is a good boxer. His record speaks for itself. Everyone has good and bad days. Yep, agreed.
God,
very well said. You're laughing at the trash talking over Zoom. I love this. Things as well. There was a lot of like bad mouthing in the presser before. I think, to be fair, like Khan got the better of the verbal exchanges, but to be honest, that doesn't mean a lot. We'll see. Also, it'll be interesting to see how he deals with the weight cut. That's Kell Brook. That is intriguing to see how he deals with that. Guys, well, yeah, I can see a few of you have liked the video. If you haven't already liked the video, please do smash the like button. It does help us out a huge amount. And also do subscribe to the channel. Just helps us out with the YouTube algorithm. And obviously, we want as many people on here as possible to make it as entertaining as possible. And some interesting opinions as well.
Still trash talking.
Mardy84 says, Eubanks way underrated. He gets too much hate. I believe he won his 2 losses both very close. But if you watch those fights back, you can see he won. Groves put up a great fight. I think Groves won that fight. The BJ Saunders fight was very, very close. But I can see why they gave it to Billy Joe. But if they were to give it to Eubank, I mean, it's not a robbery, but I think probably should have won. Jason Bill says, who do you think will win tonight, lads, in the main fight? So I think Keval's gone for a Eubank points win. That was my initial prediction. I'm gonna go left field and just be different because why not? And say a Liam Williams. Liam Williams points win. Sorry, even I can't see a stoppage. I think if there is a stoppage, it'll be late on. It's going to be all action. I genuinely feel like this main fight is a 50-50 flip of a coin. Genuinely, I know a lot of people are really high on Eubank Jr., thinking that he's going to blow Liam Williams out the water. I don't think that's. I think Liam Williams is fringe world level, maybe. I haven't seen from Chris Eubank Jr. the last few fights a world class fighter. I've seen a fringe world level fighter, but we'll see. Yeah. He's with Roy Jones Jr., one of the best fighters ever. Just hasn't quite looked any better, any worse. Kind of just looked, pretty much the same. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Liam Williams lost his last fight, so that could affect him for this. He might not be in the right mindset or whatever. But
yeah, so obviously that was his first world title fight. Fought against Demetrius Andrade, who's a very, very, very slick boxer.
Yeah.
Good fighter as well, Demetrius Andrade. But in the end, I think just a little bit out of his depth, Liam Williams. But this is definitely, in my opinion, a step down. I don't think Chris Eubank Jr. beats Demetrius Andrade, to be honest with you. But we'll see how this fight pans out. Irish says your predictions on the main card should be interesting. Yes, we've just gone over those.
Yeah.
Let me know in the chat as well. What do you guys think? Who do you think is going to win? Why? I think it's going to be. It's definitely going to be all action. Surely, I mean, it's going to be a really good fight to watch. Cannot wait. Do remember to like the video as well. I can see like there's 6 likes, but there's like 20 of you in the chat. So do smash the like button if you don't mind. Does really help us out. I know I bang on about it, but it just helps us to grow, helps this video get out there, and also the channel. Same with subscribing as well if you don't mind.
I think it's they're playing Sweet Caroline now in the crowd.
Yeah. Sweet Caroline. Ba, ba, ba. Do you remember when we went to...
it really gets them going. Really gets them going.
Yeah, we went to the AJ Povetkin fight. That was great. Love that.
Yeah,
we were actually... Do you remember we were planning to go get tickets for Ahmed Khan Kell Brook, but it went to my spam inbox, so we missed out on tickets. Classic.
Really?
Oh, this is what it is. Fine. But he says, I know many will disagree, but I really wish Eubank Jr. had fought Triple G when he had the chance. I think he would have surprised people.
Yeah.
I think it would have been too early, though, Matthew. I think the weird thing about Chris Eubank Jr. is I almost feel that I don't know. I feel like in the past he was a bit unrefined, but he had this high punch output and it was effective, right, against people. Pressure fighter, got stuck in, and it made a difference for sure. But he was limited. I feel like he's now tried to add some things to his game, but he's struggled. Like, he struggled to add those in and implement them. Like, he's trying to be like Roy Jones Jr., but there's only one Roy Jones Jr. Very, very interesting whether he adopts the same type of game plan or whether he just goes hammer and tongs, goes back to type into what he's used to. We'll see. I think GG would have knocked him out. I know he's got a great chin. I think GG knocks him out if they fought at that point. If he fights him now, though, now it's an interesting fight. GG is very old. If Eubank Jr. wins this fight, that's the fight he wants. He said it. I don't know. Like, at this point in GG's career, pressure fighter, it could be difficult. It could be difficult. Froch says, sorry, Harris says Froch is such a hater. What's happening with Usyk? So he's fighting AJ next, from what we know anyway, because Dillian White should be fighting Tyson Fury. He's mandatory. It was actually Frank Warren won the purse bid, so it'll be on BT. That fight, Tyson Fury versus Dillian White. He hasn't accepted the fight yet, but it seems like he will. And if he does, then we will definitely get. I mean, we're definitely going to get AJ Usyk too, or Usyk AJ, whatever you want to put it.
I was going to ask: has the White and Fury fight not been confirmed, or is it definitely?
So everyone's confirmed it apart from Dillian White.
Right.
So they have basically they won the purse bid, so it's kind of all in place. They need to get the contract and then sign it. I think he wanted a bigger slice of the pie because he was only getting 20%.
Right.
But he's not going to get that because obviously they've already agreed the purse bids, etc. So the only thing he can do is either sign or pull out. I'd be surprised if he pulls out. I think he's been waiting so long for his shot. He's won Tyson Fury. There is a bonus that if he wins the fight, he gets an extra 5 million.
Wow.
So we'll see. But yeah, so the purse bid is 41 million for the fight. Yeah, dollars. So highest ever purse bid. Ben says William's going to go to bed early night. What were you saying, Kev?
I was going to say highest ever purse bid in what? In ever boxing or what? Or just like in the UK?
Ever.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's impressive.
So it's for a purse bid. So obviously normally they just agree a fight. But if both parties can't agree terms, it goes to a purse bid and then it's just whoever bids the most basically for the fight.
Wow. Okay.
And they get to put it on their platform. So Eddie Hearn, I think, put in a bid for 32 million. So this is in dollars, by the way. $32 million. And then Frank Warren put in one for 41 million. So it will be on BT. MAD84 says Eubanks is like a boxing Bruce Lee speed, training fitness low. He looks great on YouTube videos, yeah. Irish says Fury and AJ in the UK. I'd like to see it. Mate, I think Irish, you're literally every single boxing fan in the world wants to see that fight. Me and Keval have talked about that fight for literally years. Literally years. I remember us going to the gym on the train back, and this would have been like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was saying, look, it would be amazing if we get Fury AJ. It's gonna be so close, and can't wait. We can go to Wembley, get tickets, blah blah blah. Yeah, so sad it hasn't happened yet. Hopefully, we still get it. Hopefully, as well, when we do get it, they won't be too old. But let's see.
Yeah.
Hara says, had to mute this guy singing. Fair enough. Matthew says, Eubank has the chin and the punch output at the O2. 20k Brits cheering him on against GG. It would have been a barnstormer. GG doesn't care about the crowd, man. He's knocking him out in my opinion. At that time in his career, he was a wrecking ball machine. He's in his prime. Triple G is one of the best middleweights ever, Matthew. Eubank Jr. has not won a single world title. Like, let's be realistic. Let's be realistic. So it says, who have you got in the Eubank fight, Faz? So I think we both. So Kev's gone with Eubank on points. I've gone Liam Williams on points just to be left field. I think Eubank Jr. has a slight advantage. If I was going to give it a percentage, I'd probably say like 51%, 49%, but barely anything. I think it's a lot closer than people think. And yes, I'd saying I wouldn't be surprised if Williams wins. Ben says a family friend of ours is buddies with Fury and Iron Mike. He's married to Ali's daughter. Oh wait, do you mean is it Layla Ali? Is that Layla Ali? Is that the daughter you're talking about? And it says super good people. Ben, if you have these contacts, mate, you know what I'm going to ask you at some point to get Iron Mike Tyson on my podcast for an interview. But yeah, if it's Layla Ali, I'd love to have Layla Ali on as well. She's great. She was a former boxer as well and champion. Matthew says Andre could not get rid of Williams, so what chance does Eubank have? That's what I'm saying. He's got an iron chin, so does Eubank Jr. I can see potentially someone getting dropped at some point, or maybe both, but I can't see a stoppage. I just don't see anyone getting stopped. If they do get stopped, it'll be because the referee waves it off.
Yeah.
And it's just, they're wobbling around everywhere, but they're not going to be flat on their back. They could be, but I very much doubt it.
Eubank Jr. is in crazy good shape.
Yeah, he is. He's in fantastic shape. So is Liam Williams. I mean, not in as good a shape, but still in damn good shape, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
obviously shape doesn't matter in boxing. It's more about skill, but it just...
Yeah, I mean, I think coming in shape, I think for the lower weight classes, I think for other...
For heavyweights, it's different.
For heavyweights, it doesn't matter maybe as much, but for these weight classes, it does. Not necessarily how you look, but how you are in terms of your endurance, making sure you're not fleshy, etc. as well.
Yeah.
Ben says, not Layla, his other daughter, Jamela. Not sure how you spell it, fair enough. Then Ben, I'm gonna contact you. Because imagine if we get Iron Mike Tyson on this channel, it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be huge.
Agreed.
Jason Bell says, I think Eubank will win this fight, but on points. Yeah, that's fair. Horace is about to go down. Yeah, so they're just doing the ring walks now, Irish. So Liam Williams is walking to the ring first. He's coming through the crowd. They will be cheering him on. He is from Wales, and they are fighting in Cardiff. Matthew says, if Brooke hadn't had his eye socket broken, he'd have gone 6 rounds at least with GGG. What do you think Eubank Jr. would have done? Eubank Jr. is not as good as Kell Brook. And I know he's a couple of weight classes above, but Matthew, Kell Brook is a much better caliber fighter than Eubank Jr. He's won a world title. He's better level. Yes, he moved up 2 weight classes, but Eubank Jr. would have come full pressure, and GG would have countered him, and he would have just cleaned him up. Like, it would have been a systematic. He might have gone 12 with him because he's got a great chin. He would have been battered and bruised. It would have been a beating. MAD84 says Eubank's a beast. I mean, look at the Canelo GGG fights, mate. GG is as good as Canelo in those fights. That's literally how good he is. And look at the Canelo now. So, Mar-D84 says Eubank's a beast. Trust me, when he goes into freak mode, no one's stopping him. That punch rate and speed. Yeah, that's true. Ben says they live in the neighborhood directly next to us, and her husband owns the boxing gym in our neighborhood. Nice, very cool. Eubank is a beast. Trust me, when he goes into flip mode, nobody's going to beat him. Last time I saw him, he was going to visit him like 6 months ago. But yeah, super cool. Very good. Very cool. Right, so Eubank Jr. now coming out. So he's got I've forgotten what song is this?
Oh, I've got the volume down. I can't hear anything.
Oh, so I can hear it. It's like it's on very low, but It's a really famous song, but I've just completely forgotten it off the top of my head. Dum 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 dum. It's that song.
I've heard that before, but
Yeah. Anyways, we are going to get underway here very soon. Cannot wait. It's going to be action packed, man. I mean, we might have a first round that's a bit of a feel out. After that, it's going to be guns blazing for sure. Eubank Jr. just standing up and looking out to the crowd. Look at him, man. He loves it.
Yeah.
He absolutely loves it. Jumps over the ropes and a flurry of punches. Definitely loves a bit of a show for sure.
So
Looking
this is
very lean
Williams'
as well.
crowd, isn't it?
Sorry?
The crowd is on Williams' side.
Yeah, which is funny because he's the away fighter technically, as in terms of like he's the B-side, but they've held it in Cardiff. So yeah, he is going to be the crowd's going to be behind him.
Williams the underdog, but obviously it's in his country or whatever.
Correct.
So
yeah, in his hometown. Hara says Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg forgot the name. Okay, fine. Yeah, yeah. Ironically as well, so Adam Booth has got Liam Williams in his corner. So that's Adam Booth, the trainer. Look at what shape Liam Williams is in. Bloody hell. Ridiculously good shape. Wowee. Give me that body, please. Unbelievable shape. But yeah, Adam Booth is in the corner of Liam Williams. And ironically, he is actually coaching Eubank Jr.'s cousin, Harlem Eubank.
Yeah.
So there's a bit. He was on the undercard, and he obviously was like, it's a bit awkward because I'm trying to avoid Liam Williams because my cousin's fighting him, and obviously I want my cousin to win, but he's in the opposite corner.
That adrenaline going on before the fight.
Yeah, you can see Roy Jones Jr. as well in the corner with Eubank Jr. Of course, only those 2 losses, one to B. Joe Saunders and one to George Groves. No harm in that. Ben says, I might be tough because he's a loose cannon, but he's legit super tight Fury. Mate, Fury is just as good, mate, even better. My neighborhood is the most Irish in North Chicago. If Fury's in town for a fight, here I'll legit text him for you. Thank you. Yeah. When it's seeing Adam Booth reminds me of Josh Kelly. What happened to Josh Kelly? Josh Kelly, I have absolutely no idea. He signed with Wasserman, so he will fight on Sky, but he hasn't fought since. So they've got the head-to-head here now at the ring, both in phenomenal shape.
Yeah.
Cannot wait for this. Karuga Henry says, thanks, guys, for the great work, but can you give us an update? Has Claressa won the match? Yes, she won the fight. Landslide victory. Easy win for her. And she'll be looking to fight Savannah Marshall next. We're about to get underway now here in the main fight of this evening. It's Chris Eubank Jr. versus Liam Williams. About to get underway here. Here we go.
The tension in the face-off.
I cannot wait, mate. This is gonna. Sometimes like the main fight just gets pumped. You go. Liam Williams comes to the middle of the ring. A couple of jabs pumped out by Eubank straight away, but just range finders, really nothing landing. Then a jab to the body by Liam Williams, just touching Eubank again. Nothing landing flush from each. You can see it's just a feel-out round, as are most first rounds so far. Jab, just leaning in Eubank, and then jab to the solar plexus of Liam Williams. Oh, little combination attempt from Eubank. Jab and then short right hand. Liam Williams then goes wild with a couple of shots thrown. Eubank out the way. Then a short left hook thrown, but nothing landing at all by either. You see, just trying to get a gauge of each other here. Yeah, just ducking down there. Williams trying to avoid giving Eubank a big target to aim at. Keeping himself nice and tight guard. And a bit of wrestling going on.
Yeah.
Rough and up. Eubank gets out of that. Well, you got good head movement from Williams, just ducking down. Oh, good jab by Eubank. Yeah. Oh, good double jab again.
Right.
Not really the landing. Nothing flush whatsoever here. It's good movement though from both on their toes. Eubank looking slightly more fluid on his feet. Yeah, again, jab thrown off the back foot almost. Eubank trying to be elusive. Oh, big right hand thrown by Williams. And Eubank shakes his head. Jab thrown and trying to counter him there. Williams again into the clinch. Very interesting first round so far. Oh, jab thrown by Eubank. Oh, again, a good jab by Liam Williams this time. Does manage to land. Not really many shots thrown here at all. Oh, hello. Oh, it's not a knockdown, is it? Oh, wow, it is a knockdown.
Wow,
that's a flash knockdown. Wow. What happened there?
Yeah, that was really quick.
I barely even saw that. It must have been a short right hook, and he's on his backside. He got up quickly, and then it's a count. A couple of shots from Eubank Jr., and he looks hurt. He looks hurt here, Liam Williams. Wow, I was not expecting this. I didn't see it. It's so quick. Barely saw it. I think it's because of the camera angle. We'll see the replay in a second, but again, he's on unsteady feet. Eubank Jr. is teeing off on Liam Williams. It looks very, very hurt. Oh, wow, I tell you what, that is a horrific round in the end from Liam Williams. He was dropped there, 11-9 round in favor of Eubank Jr. Dropped on his backside. And to be fair, I thought it was a slip at first.
I didn't see the punch that dropped him. It just looked like he fell.
Yeah, same. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the shot. He was definitely hurt because after that, he was on his backside. Let's have a look. Oh, the replay, they didn't even show it again. The replay just shows him falling down. Where's the shot?
I'm not sure.
Here, let's have a look. It's a jab. It's a jab as he's coming in. He's coming in. He's basically going in to throw. Eubank just throws the jab, and he's off balance there, Williams. He's going to throw himself. How has he got dropped by that? That is weird. Yeah, he's on his... That is weird.
It's a weird drop.
No, sorry, it's not. That was the second shot. Why they didn't show the shot that he got dropped with? I've absolutely no idea because the replay, the cameraman missed it. Basically, I have no idea what the shot was.
No, there was that jab. Oh no!
No, that was the second time that he hurt him, but you didn't fall on his backside that time.
Before that, though, they showed the jab that dropped him, wasn't it?
No, I think that was that second. I think that was that second exchange. But I could be wrong. I'm sure hopefully they'll show it again and show it properly. That's so poor. How can you not show the shot that's just happened? So he does look a little bit better here, Liam Williams. He was on unsteady feet. He doesn't look as hurt here. Crazy first round.
Williams' legs definitely wobbled in that first round. It was really bizarre.
Yeah, agreed. Doesn't look as unsteady now here, though. It's so interesting. Yeah, so Horace, I think you're right here, Kev. He's saying it was a jab. Yeah. So maybe it was that. He's going in himself to throw a jab. Got jabbed and he's on the floor. Bizarre. I mean, to get dropped by a jab is quite embarrassing to say the least. I mean, I know he's off balance, but the thing is, if he just there's a balance issue, then he gets dropped and then he doesn't look hurt after. Fine, but he looked hurt. He was all over the place after. Crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. He might have just got dizzy from that drop anyway.
Yeah, agreed. Jason said, do you do football content? If you do, what clubs? I'm a big Chelsea fan. Oh, he's dropped again. Oh, he's on the floor again. Wow. Oh, my God. This is going to be over really soon. Wow. This is absolute carnage. How? I didn't think it was going to be like this. Eubank Jr.
Eubank doesn't even look like he's throwing big punches either.
It's good timing, I think, but Liam Williams looks a bit off balance. Is he? I don't know what's going on. He just looks like he's getting destroyed here, and in his home country as well. This could be embarrassing.
Wow.
Yeah, Jason says that's the Roy Jones effect. Well, maybe. I mean, we hadn't seen it in the last few fights, but at the moment, he is looking like a world beater. Crazy.
Wow.
Double jab there again.
Oh,
Williams just doesn't know what's going on. He literally, I don't know if he's concussed at all, but he wouldn't be surprised. He genuinely looks befuddled. He's still kind of on his toes, doesn't look super unsteady, but he's going to have a way to go in this fight if he wants to recover. That's for sure, because he's way down the cards now.
2 10-8 rounds to Eubank Jr. Wow.
Yeah, 10-8 rounds. 2 10-8 rounds.
4 points up already.
Oh, big right hand. I want to see the replay for that again, because it's almost like split second and he's on the floor. It's not a couple of shots. It's a single shot and he's on the floor again, if I'm not mistaken. See the replay again. Eubank Jr. obviously definitely in control of this fight. Let's have a look. So there's a jab to the body there. Let's have a look. Oh, it's a right hand. It's a good right hand as well. So the jab, he manages to parry Williams, and it's a short right hand through the guard. Just catches Williams flush, and then the left hook round the side. And I think the left hook, he catches it partially on his gloves. It partially gets caught, and then he's on the floor again. Eubank looking at Williams to say, look, you want some, because obviously Liam Williams is the one that wanted this fight. He called him out over social media, said,
really?
He said, look, I want to smash you up, basically. I've got you easy. And Eubank Jr. then took the fight because of it, because of the public saying, yeah, we'd like to see that. Told you Eubank, he says MAD84, yeah, true at the moment. Looks like it. Matthew says Eubank throwing single jabs and hardly letting the right hand go. Jason says wait till the uppercuts come out. Someone is going to sleep. It's true, man. It's true. They haven't even opened up much, but clearly we've seen Eubank is able to hurt Williams. Can Williams hurt Eubank? Because at the moment it's looking very one-sided.
Looks so relaxed as well. Look at him.
Yeah, very fluid.
So he just knows what to do.
Agreed. Matthew says for years Eubank never had a proper jab. Now he does. It's dynamite. Yeah, I mean, he never did. Interesting. I think, in previous fights, has been a pouring jab. It's definitely looked better in this fight so far, and it's set up a couple of great shots. Obviously, the first knockdown was a jab, so really, really impressive. Look, yeah, Williams still trying to move. I mean, he's not super unsteady, but you just feel that Eubank is so calm. He's not going for the kill. He knows that, look, he's not quite ready to just go after him, throw huge flurries and punch himself out. He's calculating, looking for openings, very measured, very, very interesting.
I don't know. I think Eubank can really just knock him out whenever he wants, because look, Williams is just clenching, getting him in headlocks. It's just really bad.
I think, to be fair, I think if he can knock him out whenever he wants, he'd knock him out now. Matthew says Williams has an issue versus Andre where he continually walked onto uppercuts and solid shots. Agreed. But thing is, right, he only got dropped, I think, once in that fight, and that was the first time he never got dropped. The fact that he's got dropped twice in this fight, and the first with a jab, is just so surprising. He's known for having that iron chin. Jason says Roy was king at them. Yeah, the jabs, 100%. A very interesting jab, though. His was more of a reflex jab, but one of the best in the business for sure. Oh, good short right hand from Eubank. Doesn't quite land flush, though, and gets caught by a jab thrown by the Welsh fighter. Oh, wild from Williams. And he goes, he's pumping. What is he doing? He's pumping his chest, Liam Williams, to say, I'm still in this. Oh, that is crazy. If he gets knocked out, he will look like a right clown if he does that. Don't do that. He's just been dropped twice.
Yeah, you can't get cocky after losing that.
You know what? I mean, maybe that's also a bit of psychology there to say, look, I'm not really hurt. I'm fine, kind of thing. But yeah, crazy to do that. Really crazy to do that. Look at that. Eubank Jr. just slipping and sliding. A really good head movement there as well. Beautiful. Oh, little bit of a shoulder shrug there as well. That is class, to be honest with you. He's really good.
I still think Williams is quite sloppy. He's tried so hard to cover it as well.
Yeah, not good accuracy. And to be fair, really good head movement and body movement from Eubank Jr. This time it is a jab, though. Does catch Eubank. So his hands were down Eubank in that previous exchange. And he did so well to avoid the punches. Reflexes there. Oh, big right hand from Eubank. And the ref holds Eubank to say, look, the bell's been rung. Oh. Interesting. Very interesting. Guys, as well, thanks for tuning in. You can see there's like 40 of you in the chat. Please do remember to like the video if you don't mind, and subscribe to the channel. It does help us out a great deal by liking and subscribing. And if you want more content like this as well, we will be doing Khan versus Brook in 2 weeks' time. And we'll see if we can do one next week as well. But yeah, trying to do watch-alongs most weeks anyway for all the big fights anyways. Matthew says, I wonder if Williams' punch resistance is gone. It can suddenly creep up on a fighter, especially after they've been in the wars. True. Could be.
The referee was having a massive go at Eubank at the end there.
So it's because the bell rung and then he punched him.
Yeah, but then his cutsman was like pushing the referee off him as well.
Yeah. Love it. Jason says Roy was uppercut king. Watch his heart. Yeah, Roy Jones. He used to lead as well the uppercut. He used to lead with the left hook and the uppercut rather than a jab. I mean, he was the king of doing that. Ref saying to both fighters, look, come on, listen to me. Listen to me. I'm the man. I love it. Here we go. Round 4. I think it's safe to say Liam Williams hasn't won a round yet. And he will be 5 points up anyway. Oh, this is silly from Eubank, though. He shouldn't do that. A jab and then a right hand says, oh, come on. That doesn't hurt me. That's rubbish. He needs to be careful because if he gets caught himself, he could be in trouble as well. So be professional. He's been really good the first couple of rounds and third round. Needs to just get it done here. Get it done professionally. Yeah, we want to see a bit of showboating, but not to the detriment of him getting hit. Big right hand from Williams there. Good jab as well. He's starting to let Williams come back into this fight in this round so far. Needs to be careful. Williams isn't a mug. Yes, he's caught him with 2 good shots because he was very, very sharp in those first few rounds. Yeah. 4th round here, then shouldn't take his eye. Oh, that's a beautiful shot. It's a short left hook by Eubank. What timing. That is beautiful from Eubank Jr. Liam Williams on the floor again. 3rd knockdown. Looks at the referee and says, yeah, I'm fine. I mean, the thing is, they're not huge knockdowns, but they're sharp knockdowns. He just hits him. He just times him so nicely. As soon as Williams is coming in, times him beautifully with the short left hook. And then Williams is on his backside again. Says, come on.
Like big punches that are knocking. It's not big punches that are knocking him down. It's just quick ones.
But the reason why is because he's timing him, right? So the timing of the punches is beautiful. So as Williams is coming in to throw himself, he's then catching him. So that's what's sending him back. So he's not seeing those punches. He's not able to brace for them, Williams, because he's getting caught by shots he can't see. Shots that he doesn't see coming. And those are the punches that hurt. Eubank definitely telling Williams, come on, what are you going to do? And Williams, this is so interesting. He's just all over Williams. He really is. And normally in the showboating, you'd say, why is he doing it? But he's in control. 3 knockdowns already. We're in round 4. And they've been sweet knockdowns as well. Really good timing. A jab, a short right hand, and a short left hook. 3 completely different shots as well.
Bit of headlock there, bit of clinching.
Yep. Yeah, a couple of jabs thrown by Eubank. His hands are down, so he's all reflex. Very similar to what kind of, I guess you can say, a similar style to what Roy Jones said. He's saying, come on, we're shot. What do you want to do? He's egging on Liam Williams. He's saying, come on. Let's go. This is crazy. This is crazy. He is just mocking Liam Williams here in the ring. This is the main card, the main event in Cardiff, in Wales, his home country, Liam Williams, and he's being absolutely humiliated here.
How many times has he been dropped? Is it 3 or 4 times
3
now?
times. Jason says you can't put Mukel on your chin, as the old boxer once told me. What does that mean? What's Mukel? Let me know. Guys, over 40 of you in the chat, thanks very much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Please remember to smash the like button if you haven't done so already. If you have done so, thank you. And do subscribe to the channel as well for more content like this. If you like the watch-alongs, we do them quite regularly, once a week, once every 2 weeks, depending on obviously the fights they're on. You can see, look at this. So you can see the replay. As he's throwing the jab, Eubank has thrown a counter left hook. And because he's thrown the jab as he gets clipped, he's not bracing. His whole body weight is going forward. He gets clipped, and he's not able to brace for it. He's on the floor before he knows it. It's just the speed is really good from Eubank. The speed of hand and the timing behind the punches is great. Big uppercut though thrown from Eubank at the start of this 5th round, misses. And they've got Eubank up on the cards. Not surprising, obviously 7 points up. 3, 10, 8 rounds and a 10-9 round in that third round. 3 knockdowns, or again, going to a clinch and then an overhand right from Eubank. And Williams stumbles. Eubank doing a matador sign to, he's doing a matador kind of almost gesture to Williams to say, come on, come on. Again, jabs and then evades that punch. Oh, Williams, though, a flurry of punches there. Eubank managing to get out of trouble. Hasn't really been in any trouble at any point, Eubank, in this fight so far. Very much
Williams doesn't look on steady. Williams is not on steady legs. He's like getting flung back quite easily.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, you can't put muscle in your chin, says Jason. Very true. It's interesting, though, because his chin has been very good in his whole career. I think you might be right. Maybe that Andrade fight has definitely affected it. I think, to be fair, the shots thrown have been really good. They've been timing shots. They haven't been concussive, like huge shots thrown, as Keval said. But what they've been is thrown at the right time, really pinpoint. And, just incredible timing by Eubank Jr. And the fact they managed to drop him with a jab, I think, says it all. And that just shows how well he's been timing those shots and the accuracy shown as well in those shots thrown. Yeah, good movement again from Eubank, doing really well, just on his toes at all times. Good head movement as well. Uppercut from Eubank and then a nod of the head to say, fair enough, you took that. Saying, come on, let's go. Uppercut again thrown by Eubank. Williams still coming forward. I tell you what, he's a tough cookie, the Welsh fighter. He may not win this fight, but I'll tell you what, they're going to have to carry him out on a stretcher, you'd imagine. It's not the type of fighter that's going to give up, especially, you'd imagine, given that it's in Wales as well and he's Welsh. Well, Eubank just eyeing up Williams, an uppercut thrown by the UK fighter, the British fighter even, but missing its mark. A couple of jabs thrown by Williams, none landing. Round 5 here, 3 knockdowns, of course, for Eubank. Hasn't lost a round here yet. This 5th round, it's a bit closer, but again, very hard to give it to the Welsh fighter. Jab and then left hook thrown. Good left hook to the body thrown by Liam Williams. Eubank needs to be careful here because if Liam Williams manages to go a couple of rounds without getting dropped or getting hurt, he will recover somewhat, you'd imagine. Good jab thrown from Williams. I think, what do you think? Still a Eubank round?
Yeah, I think Eubank's up quite a bit, even though that was probably not his best round.
Agreed. I don't think Williams has won a round yet. That's kind of how I see it at the moment. I think it's very tough to give him anything. And obviously, he is definitely behind the 8 ball here. It's been a horrific start to this fight for Liam Williams. Eubanks looks so sharp. Timing, speed, movement, all look really good. It's almost like, to be fair, the last few fights have not been great. He's kind of looked like he's been caught in between styles. It almost looks like he's very comfortable in this specific style now. And he just looks so comfortable. Very fluid as well, which is great to see. You can see Chris Eubank, senior in the crowd. Obviously, his father and former champion as well, super middleweight champion. Jason says fitness keeps a lot of fighters going once that's gone night-night. Yeah, that's true. Very true. Here we go. So round 6.
I feel like Williams is still trying to keep it in there, but he just doesn't seem to have it now with Eubank dropping him so many times.
Yeah, agree. I think he'll need definitely, probably. I think if we see anything substantial from Williams, it'll be from the 8th round onwards if he manages to survive that long. A couple of jabs thrown and then into a clinch, and Eubank trying to throw some body shots in the clinch. 1-2, very good 1-2 thrown from Eubank, and then a nod of the head from Eubank to say, fair enough, you took that. That nod, though, to me is not worrying, but it's almost a little bit like he's thinking that he should be able to knock him out with that shot. And if it doesn't drop him or knock him out, he's almost like, oh, he's actually got a pretty good chin. And it's like, yeah, he does. You've timed him nicely, but you've got to be on your toes here. Williams definitely coming forward. Eubank, does he look a bit tired? No, I think he's okay. But this is a very, very high energy style that he's adopted. hands low, of course, nod of the head, couple of jabs thrown by Williams. Less of the showboating in this round from Eubank. Or left hook thrown from Williams. Williams is coming back into this, you know. You definitely feel like this round has been better so far. Yeah, Eubank showboating again. Needs to be careful there. Doesn't want it clipped. Matthew says this showboating from Chris is detracting from his performance, looking for single shots rather than looking to hunt down Liam with his jabs. It's true. I think he's got distracted a little bit. It's very, very, very correct in saying that, Matthew. I think could have potentially got it done by now. I think if he'd kind of stuck to the game plan. I mean, it's difficult to kind of criticize him too much considering he was showboating one of the rounds in that fourth round and then he still managed to drop him. But we'll see. We'll see how the fight progresses, whether it's detrimental or not.
Yeah.
You know, he gets the win. You don't really think about that too much. Yeah, so no real shots of note from either fighter. Both throwing, but nothing really landing. Good head movement from both and good feet movement as well to stay out of distance at times.
Williams looks really hurt though. That cuts to both sides of his face. It looks like he's taken so much damage.
Yeah, he has. He has, although his legs starting to look a bit more steady. A good 1-2 thrown by Williams.
Yes.
And Eubank on the ropes there, but then Bell. Has Bell gone? Why has the referee stopped that? Interesting. There's maybe a headlock there. So we're back to the middle of the ring. Both hands down. End of the round. Oh, I'll tell you what. Might give that to Williams. I think that might be his first round. I don't know. I think it's a very close round.
Oh, yeah. Williams tried to go for a flurry there. It just didn't work out.
I think that's going to be, for me, a Williams round.
You think?
Yeah, very close. I mean, I could even easily give it to Eubank, but yeah, I think I'm going to give it to Williams.
I reckon the judges are going to be swayed to give it to Eubank just because considering how what droppage is.
Yeah, but I think they're supposed to score it round by round. Well, that's how they do score it. So if they do, obviously, but we'll see. Jason says, I'm a Liverpool fan. Can't wait to meet you in the final. Should be a good game. Will you stream it? So I am thinking of doing a football channel as well, but if I do it, most likely it will be a weekly podcast, just an hour a week. I'm not doing any football streams at the moment, but it's something that I'd like to do because I don't do this full time. But if you guys do want me to do stuff like that full time, and then please do like this video, do subscribe because obviously the bigger this channel gets, the more then I will be able to spend more and more time doing concentrating on this channel, but also doing, for example, and opening another football channel, which I'd love to do, but just don't have the time to at the moment. Jason says, sorry, MAD84 says, Eubank said before the fight he's going to punish him and teach him a lesson. Eubank could end it anytime he wants. I don't think he can end it anytime he wants. We'll see, right? I think he's definitely in control, but he's not. Yeah, I mean, look, Williams is still not. He's not a mug, so he's not some bum that, as Muhammad would say. So, oh, look at this. Just wrestling Eubank here. Williams just pushing Williams' head down. Saying why are you wrestling me? Not happy with the wrestling from Williams there. Eubank, good jab to the body from Williams. Eubank a little bit frustrated, I think, at just a little bit. Yeah, he's talking to Williams here.
Oh, look, Williams is just clinching, trying to wrestle him a bit. That just shows his
double jab from Eubank, and then a jab to the body from the solar plexus of Eubank. Williams is trying to rough him up here. He's trying to tire him out by just roughing him up, putting his weight on him. It's not a bad tactic. Fury does it all the time. Tyson Fury to his opponents. And if you're the bigger fighter, which you'd say Williams is probably slightly bigger in terms of frame, then yeah, you putting your weight on your opponent is not a bad tactic, especially if you need a bit of time off.
Agreed.
Yeah, Williams definitely have a little bit more success. Eubank is that kind of showboating is definitely gone. I think he realizes he's still in the fight here.
Yeah,
it's not over yet.
Williams has definitely upped this game a little bit recently. You know, he's not falling down so much.
A couple of hooks in the clinch. Yeah, agreed. or jabs thrown at the same time, and a nod from Eubank. And the nod really weirds me out because he showboats and then says, no, kind of taking the mick out of him. And then the nod of approval when he either takes a shot or receives a shot, it kind of weirds me out because he's saying, oh, yeah, that's good. But it's a strange thing to do when he kind of doesn't really respect him. Yeah, it's a huge uppercut thrown by Eubank. Completely misses, though, this time.
Yeah.
He's moving still very nicely, though, on his feet. I do like that. Decent hand movement as well. He's still in there. He's trying to look to counter Williams, you can see. But Williams giving him less opportunities to counter. He really is. He's going in, choosing his moments. He's not just going in and being simplistic in the way that he's approaching Eubank. But yeah, Eubank looking to the crowd saying, what's he doing? He's just wrestling me.
Yeah.
Well, that's part and parcel of fighting, mate. Unfortunately, you're just going to have to deal with that. But again, a very difficult round. I don't know who to give that to. It's pretty much a nothing round. Not really many significant shots thrown there. What do you think? Who have you given that to?
I don't know, actually. I still think that was Eubank's round because I just felt like Williams was clenching most of the time. I was just trying to get out of trouble. But
I actually don't think Eubank actually threw anything substantial in that, though. That's the only issue. Williams hardly threw anything either, but yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean, actually. I felt like Williams was like throwing a punch, but when he gets close, he just clenches to avoid getting countered.
Yeah, agreed. Jason says, I think you can make it at what you do, and I thought it was going the distance, but now I think KO round 8. Thanks, I appreciate that as well. Thanks for the support. Saying that, yeah, I mean, I would love to do it full time. I mean, that's kind of the dream, but we'll see. I obviously work really hard on this. So, but you guys really are the people that are able to support by liking and subscribing. We do have a Patreon and stuff as well. So it's all different types, but can't do it obviously without your guys' support. Yeah, bizarre here. It's almost like he's a little bit tired, Eubank, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, big right hand thrown by Williams. Doesn't land flush, but it does clip him. Does clip Eubank. I'll tell you what, I think Williams, he's not hurt anymore, if I'm not mistaken. He's not hurt, I don't think. He's on steady legs. He's come into this fight, and Eubank is now starting to look the slightly tired fighter in there. But very weird turnaround. Matthew says, what is Eubank Jr. doing? Just throwing wild single shots. I think he's a bit tired, Matthew. I think the way that he's fighting right now, despite him being this super fit athlete, which he is, the style of fighting that the style that he is utilizing right now is not a style that he's used throughout his career. It's not one that he's used a lot. It's now a style that he's put together, obviously, for this fight, and it's one that he thinks is working and did work the first 4 or 5 rounds really nicely. But it's a very similar style to what Roy Jones used, but you have to be like spending a lot of energy at all times to really be super effective utilizing this. And it does mean at times that he'll probably will take a round or 2 off. It's a good one to you, though, thrown. Doesn't land flush, but clips Williams. Uppercut thrown, and then it's a right hand from Williams. He goes up against the ropes. He does miss. He kind of just brushes Eubank as he throws it. Right hand to the body from the UK fighter, from the British fighter even. Now you can see Williams just edging forward. Eubank utilizing foot movement, jab thrown whilst moving backwards by Eubank, but doesn't land. Oh, big right hand from Williams. Eubank shakes his head. That's a huge right hand, though. Wow. He's eaten that. He's got a good chin, Eubank, but I tell you what, that is a big shot. He doesn't want to take more of those.
Williams is definitely making a comeback now, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think he's taken the last 2 rounds, but I think that still means he's 5 points down, I think. So
depends on
he would need to win every single round from here, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, because he's
9, 10.
There was 3 knockdowns, wasn't there? So
yeah, so round 8 here, and 10 seconds left in this 8th round. Big jab thrown by Eubank, another jab thrown in response by Williams, but none really landing flush. I think that's a good round. That's Williams' round for me. I think he's won the last 3 rounds. Potentially only 2. The last round, the 7th round, wasn't particularly It could have gone either way, but I think he was won 3 rounds. What I said, he was 7 points down. So Eubank's 4 rounds up, I think I've got, which then means how many rounds have we got left? We've got 9 to 11. We've got 4 left.
Yeah.
So for me, Williams has to win every single round from here to get a draw. That's what I've got. I don't think he's winning this fight. I think if he wins this fight, he probably has to get the knockout. But yeah, that big right hand thrown by Williams, I mean, he cannot afford to be receiving more of those.
To really get the next rounds.
Agreed. Jason, what round is it? I'm just going off what you're saying. So we're going into the 9th round. They're just having that couple of seconds rest in the corners. And start the 9th round here now.
Yeah.
Eubank pumping out that jab.
Eubank
needs to utilize it more, as Matthew said, rightfully. So interestingly, Matthew Macklin has Eubank up by 3 points. So that means if Williams wins the next 3 rounds, he will win. The next 4 rounds even, he would win.
Yes.
Matthew Macklin, so I gave Liam Williams the last 3 rounds. He's given Liam Williams the last 4 rounds. He's just not been very active, Eubank. He's, as Matthews rightfully said, he's tried to throw single shots since those knockdowns, which obviously were single shots, which is fantastic, but you still need to be busy after. You don't win a fight just by knocking down your opponent. You either need to knock him out or win on points then. Yeah. And that means doing extra work after that. But hasn't thrown enough. The jab, he's not thrown many jabs and hasn't really thrown off it. But yeah, the single shots aren't working at the moment. Williams is definitely looking sharper. He's definitely coming into this fight more. And I feel like the snap and speed from Eubank is not as snappy as it was in the first few rounds, where he came out blistering. Big right hand again from Williams. Catches Eubank. Huge right hand. Eubank, though, not hurt.
Taking it too easy now after he got those knockdowns. He just chilled.
I think he expected to have him out by now. Surprised. Big left hook, though. Sorry, big left uppercut thrown by Eubank. Catches Williams flush, but he's okay. Go round 9 here. Just over a minute left. All right, hook thrown by Eubank. Good head movement from Williams. You can see just a single shots, though, thrown at times by Eubank, and he's having a lot more success when he throws punches in bunches. Needs to work off that jab as he was doing in the first few rounds of this fight. So the commentators ringside have Eubank up 3 rounds, or 3 points, or even. I have him up 4 points. I think Keval has Eubank up maybe 5 or 6.
Yes. Something like that anyway. I haven't scored it properly. Yeah,
agreed. Matthews, aside from Eubank having early success with the counter left jab, he really hasn't won the battle of the jabs. That's been the issue, I think. He's not been active enough with that jab since the knockdowns. I think he's got complacent and he's taken his eye off the ball for sure. So only 10 seconds left in this round. Couple of jabs thrown by Eubank. Better. Doesn't land, but better intent shown. Or right hand thrown by Eubank. So again, I think that's a Williams. I just feel like the more eye-catching shots are from Williams. So if I'm not mistaken, Eubank is now 3 rounds up, 3 points up, even. But Williams, for me, has won the last 4 rounds. I think for Matthew Macklin, he probably will now have Eubank up only 2 points, because for him, Williams would have won the last 5 rounds.
Yes.
The 3 knockdowns obviously helping Eubank out a lot, but he's got to be careful here because he's really on the receiving end of some big momentum here from Eubank. You can see that big left uppercut thrown from Eubank. Good shot. It was after actually a jab as well from Williams. And then you can see the right hand thrown from Williams. Eubank was moving back, so he managed to just catch that. Not completely flush. Kind of took a little bit of the sting off it by catching it going backwards. Guys, do remember to like the video as well. Can see 50 in the chat. Thanks for tuning in, and do subscribe to the channel. Appreciate it. Round 10 here of this main event. I've got Eubank up by 3. So for me, Williams has to win all the rest of the rounds to draw this fight. But Matthew Macklin has Eubank up 2 rounds. So that means that Williams, if he's correct, that is, Williams still has a chance of winning this fight if he wins the next 3 rounds, which at the moment, he's won, I think, the last 4 or 5 rounds. So in a row. Eubank, though, of course, we know can hurt Williams, dropped him 3 times. But since then, has just fallen away. Wild from Eubank, short right hand, and then a huge uppercut, misses completely.
I feel like Williams was just off balance or something at the start. He wasn't super hurt. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. So I think that he obviously was hurt, but they weren't huge concussive punches, right, thrown by Eubank. So yes, they did hurt him. Yes, he was on the floor, but they weren't the type of ones that he was going to be hurt for the whole fight, and it was going to be potentially a fight ender. It wasn't. It was something that actually Eubank needed to then continue to chip away at. And yes, if he had been more active, he probably potentially could have got a stoppage, but he didn't. He was a bit too passive, and now Williams back into this. 1 minute 30 left of this 10th round. Not particularly active either fighter, throwing a couple of shots, but nothing really landing of note. Williams looks so much sharper in his last 5-6 rounds. He just looks a lot steadier on his legs. Yes, he looks hurt. You can see the bruising. You can see the swelling beneath the right eye, but it looks okay. And Eubank just looks a lot more tentative. Big jab thrown by Williams and throwing Eubank back. And all that showboating in the first 3, 4, 5 rounds from Eubank dissipated very quickly after he realized he was in for a fight here. Or clinching here, 48 seconds left. So he says, Williams coming back, lads. Who knows what the judges will do? Very true. Williams is definitely a tough cookie. A lot of people might have given up. But he did big 1-2 thrown by Eubank. Williams gets into the clinch. Not a lot of marking on Eubank's face. He's definitely taken some shots. Big right hand thrown by Eubank. Doesn't land flush, though. Williams still going about his business. Or 1-2 there, thrown by the English fighter. Does land. Or again, right hand through the guard, but again, just not quite landing flush. I'd give that round to Eubank. That was better from the English fighter. So for me, I've got Eubank up by 4 rounds now. I think they will have him up 3 rounds, which means they have him up 3 rounds?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
No, sorry, they'll have him up by 3 rounds, I think. We'll see. Matthew says this was supposed to be a statement performance from Eubank, still looking like he lacks the fundamentals, throwing his shots when feet aren't in position. That's the thing, right? I think his feet positioning and the way that he was throwing, and he just looked a lot more fluid in the first few rounds. Then he kind of went back to type almost. Just started throwing really wild shots and very, very bizarre performance, I feel, after those first few rounds. We had a lot of success. Started showboating. He was almost too worried about making it look like a show and entertaining, and then thinking, well, I can get him out of here whenever, and underestimated the recovery powers of Williams. Probably thought he was a lot more hurt than he actually was. Jason says, probably give it to Eubank, talking about the judges. Yeah, that's true. So 2 rounds remaining here. For me, I think Eubank probably has done enough to take this fight if it goes the distance now. I don't think he needs to win another round, personally, but we'll see.
I think Eubank's still got it in the bank. He just can't get knocked out now.
Yeah, it's been a bit of an underwhelming performance after those first few rounds, first 4 or 5 rounds where it was a really, really impressive performance from Eubank. He's just fallen off a little bit here, but he started to come on stronger in this round. Yeah, big right hook thrown whilst going backwards there. Again, right hook in the clinch. Yeah, round 11 here, so penultimate round of this fight into a clinch again. Eubank doesn't look, before there was this cocky kind of arrogance about the way that he was fighting. He knows we're into the business end here. Doesn't look as confident as he once was. Doesn't look nervous either, though. And Liam Williams saying, yeah, come on, yeah, not much. The uppercut in the clinch there from Williams. Oh, double jab from Williams. The first one lands, second one doesn't. Then it's a flurry from Eubank. It's a 1-2, doesn't land though. Then tries to get Williams up against the ropes and throw, but isn't able to. And Williams just pushing Eubank against the ropes, using that physical presence. Uppercut from... Oh, he's on the floor. Has he got dropped?
Wow. Knockdown, wow.
Oh, he's counting him. I don't know if that's a knockdown or if he was thrown.
No, it's not.
Oh. Tyrone Augustine says jab, jab. Yeah, needs to jab. Well, he's given that as a knockdown. I don't know if that was.
Wow.
It looked like he'd just been pushed off balance. If that's a knockdown, then obviously he's definitely won this now.
Yeah.
But Williams looked perfectly fine. He looks fine as well. Doesn't look hurt. Could be a flash knockdown where he's not hurt. But for me, I don't know. I felt like it looked more like he was kind of pushed to the ground rather than
Williams
he was a
just
punch.
said to the referee he pushed me because he knows that if that's a knockdown, he's lost now.
Yeah, agreed. Look at that. Oh, now the showboating's happening from Eubank because he knows he's won. A little bit of a shimmy with the shoulders.
Yeah.
Good head movement, though, to avoid the 1-2 from Williams.
Oh, look at Williams.
Yeah, Eubank knows. He knows that he's got this in the bag, most likely, unless the judges suddenly come up with something very interesting. Jab thrown from Eubank Jr. Left hook as well. Oh, very, very good from Eubank in that round. If that's obviously given as a knockdown, then of course it will be. Let's have a look. So it's uppercut on the inside. No, it's not a knockdown. He's hitting around the back of his head. He's basically his forearm as he's come round. The forearm of Eubank Jr. pushes Liam Williams to the floor. That shouldn't be a knockdown. It's a poor decision from the ref. And that, to be fair, has cost Liam Williams the fight. I mean, I think he probably would have lost it anyway, but that definitely has put it beyond, really beyond Liam Williams. Tyrone Augustine says, Junior needs to be humble. Goldie Empire Music says, you look weak, kid. Okay. Don't know who that's directed to, but fair enough. Maybe he's talking about Eubank Jr. Who knows? Eubank Jr. Here we go. Last round of this fight. I think, to be fair, Williams needs a knockdown to win this fight. Round 12 here of this middleweight contest between Eubank Jr. and Matthew Macklin has Eubank Jr. up by 3 points. Well, interesting. Very interesting. So, 4 knockdowns, obviously. The 4 knockdowns is what's made him win this fight. I think even if that wasn't a knockdown, he still would have been... he still would have been 2 points up. So, still, not able to lose from this position, most likely. Yeah. But we'll see what the judges come up with.
Yeah, I think Eubank's got this. Look at Eubank showboating.
Yeah, you can see showboating. He knows he's won this. Doesn't need to overexert. Doesn't need to take risks. Jason Bell says he will if he fights GGG. Yeah, that's true. He will be humble if he fights Triple G. I think he'd have to be.
Yeah.
Here we go. Last round and 2 minutes to go. Good uppercut from Eubank. Left hook thrown as well. You can see Liam Williams on his toes still. Eubank Jr. just saying, come on. Yep. Knows he just needs to... Oh, that's a big shot. Yeah. Oh, it's hurt. That was a big left thrown by Liam Williams. That definitely staggered Eubank Jr. He smiles, though. He looks okay. Doesn't look like he's unsteady on his legs, etc. But definitely caught him off balance, I think, more than anything. So 1 minute 30 left in this last round. Just moving around the ring, knowing that he doesn't need to do much. Yeah, 1-2 thrown by Williams, and then you can see the shoulder shuffle from Eubank. Knows that he's won this fight. Saying, is that all you've got? Yeah. Eubank definitely in control here now. And after a couple of very messy middle rounds where didn't look particularly impressive, he's come back obviously strong on the back end. Given that knockdown, I think he, even if it's not a knockdown, he still wins those 2 rounds. Big right hook thrown from Liam Williams, misses though in the end. Jab thrown by the Welsh fighter. Jab to the body as well. But yeah, Eubank barely throwing really in this round. Knows he doesn't need to. Knows he just needs to avoid getting knocked out, which he's never been knocked out in his career, to be fair. Saying, come on, come on. And then just doing the running man. And there's 20 seconds left. And Liam Williams looking to the crowd. He's saying, come on, what's he doing? Oh, he's looking to the crowd. They're booing Eubank Jr., but he stopped fighting Williams there. Weird. He's almost to catch his breath. Yeah, very interesting. I mean, he's definitely shown heart here, Williams. Dropped 4 times, but Eubank Jr. definitely a class above, it seems. For sure. He'll be disappointed, I think, with the way that the fight went after those early 3 knockdowns. But he gets the win here pretty comfortably, you'd say, in the end. Definitely some positives to take in the start of the fight. Looked damn good, I thought. But after that, just lost his way with the showboating. And then also, I think just looking for those single shots, lost his jab completely. Consistency not there. What do you think, Kev? I mean, assuming you gave it to Eubank, but what do you think?
Yeah, Eubank won, but I feel like he just lost it with the over showboating in that last round. It's just like, it just made him look a bit of a clown.
Yeah, very interesting. Guys, as well, there's over 70 of you in the chat. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please do remember to like this video if you don't mind. And do subscribe to the channel as well. Liking and subscribing really does help us out. And we are growing, so any help towards that's greatly appreciated. We will be doing more watch-alongs, of course, for the big boxing events coming up. They are just waiting for the judges' scorecards. It's interesting to see whether there's any controversial ones. There always are some interesting ones. You can see Claressa, so he signed with Wasserman, is Eubank Jr., and also the poster boy now for Sky. So Matthew Macklin's scorecard, which is unofficial, obviously, has Eubank Jr. up by 4 rounds. But look, you can see that from round 5 to 10, he gave Liam Williams those rounds. So 6 consecutive rounds went to Liam Williams. And he will be thinking, what could have been if I'd avoided getting knocked down in those rounds? Yeah, showboating Eubank and Liam Williams looking at the ref. I don't know why. Don't know why he's looking at the ref while he's showboating. Just go. It's crazy. It's weird. Matthew says Eubank Jr. doesn't beat Andre, Charlo, or GGG. I think if he fights like he did in the first 4 rounds, fights like that for a whole fight, he has a chance against Triple G, a chance against Andre, a chance against Charlo. I would say he's the underdog in all of those fights, for sure. I was quite excited by what I saw in the first 3-4 rounds. And then after that, it was just like, damn, man, like, carry that on. Don't get carried away. And just seemed like he lost his focus and concentration. But definitely some positives to take. But it still seems like he's a work in progress.
Yeah, nice. It was good. It was a good fight, though. I think Williams did well to come back even after the knockdowns.
Yeah, I agree. He's got a heart, man, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Real heart for sure. Yeah. So he's won, but what are the scorecards? Right, let's see. Matthew says those fighters you just mentioned won't walk onto those counters like Williams did. That's true. That's very true. I mean, maybe GGG because he's so old now. If it wasn't the GGG, if it wasn't the Triple G of today, I would say yes. But I think because he's so old, his movement isn't quite what it used to be. Then potentially, but again, like he's not going to get knocked down. I don't think Triple G. I'd be very, very surprised if he does. So, yeah, agreed. Like Charlo and Andre. I mean, Andre is in his prime, so is Charlo. So I would be very surprised if those guys do as well. So, very, very good point. For sure. Jason Bell said Roy would have in his prime. Yeah, Roy would have beaten all of them in his prime. Roy Jones Jr. I mean, he's just class act. Roy Jones Jr. really is. Yeah, mean, can he beat Triple G? And you just feel like no, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Thanks a lot, guys, for tuning in. Do appreciate it. Please do remember to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Really does help us out. We can see a few of you have liked and subscribed. Really grateful. Thank you for those who have done so. If you haven't done so, if you don't mind, does of course I say does help out. So appreciate it. So I want to quickly have a look because sometimes they just don't announce exactly what the cards are, which really annoys me. They're just like the winner, and I'm like, well, that's great, but who won and by how much? So let's have a look.
Details.
So no surprises. Ruled winner via unanimous decision. Okay, well, what's the scorecards, mate? Okay, I guess they'll come up in a second. Yeah. Yeah, the timing of those first 3 knockdowns was really impressive. I didn't think he had that in his repertoire, honestly. That type of timing and hand speed. The hand speed, I think he did, but it's the accuracy, I think, in timing, which was most impressive from him. Yeah, see, so Michaela Meyer, who's a world champion, women's world champion, said, "Look, the jab was amazing. Like, through jabs and managed to obviously knock down Liam Williams with those jabs. With a jab, especially at the start. So why did he stop throwing that jab? Like, why would he stop when it was so effective?" And that's a very good point that she's made. Liam Williams did look fragile at the start in the first few rounds when he got knocked down, but then he got carried away, right? He did get carried away for sure, which I thought was just a shame, like a huge shame, genuinely. It really, really was. 78% of you did vote for Eubank Jr., so well done to those who did. Obviously, yeah, like helps a lot in terms of his career. This win, you'd imagine. I mean, he loses here. Where does he go next? Who knows? Didn't even want to, entertain the fact that he might lose it. So, yeah, big win, obviously, in the end for him. And he'll now have to potentially face, someone like a Triple G, which would be a very, very big fight, you'd imagine. Interesting if Triple G comes over to here or whether he'll have to go abroad for that fight as well, though, if it does happen. Thoughts, Kev?
It's what I predicted, but
that's true.
Not in the way that I thought it was going to go, because I don't know, it's just really bizarre getting those 3 knockdowns at the start and then Williams sort of coming back, not fully coming back, but he had a chance to come back and win, but it was still a good fight.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. I think we'll wrap it up there. Thanks very much, guys, for tuning in as well. Do appreciate it. Please remember to smash the like button and subscribe as well if you haven't done so already. It does help us out, as I've said. And we will hopefully see you guys definitely for the Khan versus Brooke fight next week. What are the fights next week? I think I sent it to you guys. So let's have a quick look. See what's next week. Oh, he's saying I wanted to punish him in the post-match interview, post-fight interview, sorry, but I think he wanted to get the knockout, just wasn't quite able to. Let's have a quick look. Let's have a quick looky. So, next week... Daniel Jacobs versus John Ryder. which is the Zone show. So we might do that actually, if that's still going ahead. Yeah, it'll probably be me. Depends on if Keval's available and Mohammed as well.
Yeah.
But I will try to. Jay says, thanks, lads, for the content. Keep it up. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jason.
But yeah, guys, do remember to smash the like button, subscribe, and we will see you soon. Stay safe and well. And yeah, have a good weekend as well, of course. And hopefully look forward to seeing you guys on future streams. Thank you very much, guys. And yeah, see you soon. I'm just going to, yeah, over there. Bye.